I'm Jim Kircher in Soulard. Normally this time of year, leading up to Mardi Gras, there'd be all kinds of events, parades, and a really big party. Not this year. Because of COVID-19, most of the events have gone virtual, they've been scaled back, or they simply won't happen at all. So we thought we would relive a Mardi Gras from a few years ago, and all that went into it. It's something we call method to the madness.
Our celebration has definitely got a Midwestern flavor to it.
Cold out here.
Hey, get out of the way!
It certainly doesn't mean that we don't know how to have fun.
What do I worry about the most?
The tents, the tables, the chairs, the beer, the soda, the hurricanes.
There you go, baby.
Our officers know to be a little more tolerant than they normally are on this day.
Minor fights, no large fights.
My D's ladies?
It's not our favorite day of the year, but it is our job.
Jeffrey, how you doing? I'm Tim Lorson, and I'm the Prime Minister of Mardi Gras Inc. Well, there's three of us full-time, myself and Marco and Lindsay. Mark basically handles sponsorship and some operations.
Hope you guys had fun, man.
Hi, Joe. It's Lindsay from Mardi Gras. How are you?
And Lindsay handles all of the brass tacks. She's the operations person. She's the person that makes sure we have the right permits, that we've got enough water, that we've got enough tables, all of those kind of things.
Right here and make it go across like this.
Mac Bradley is the foreign minister, which means he is the guy that is our media guru and a longtime Mardi Gras volunteer. He coordinates all the public relations and communications efforts, but he's actually more than that. He's also somebody that's very integral into the strategic planning and the operation with us. In fact, he was one of the people that helped form Mardi Gras back in '99. Hey, Lindsay.
Yeah.
We always like to say that our job is to equally balance the fact that we're trying to create economic activity in the city of St. Louis in the first quarter of the year. We want to put heads in beds. We want to see a big day for the bar owners and the restaurants, not just in Soulard, but all over the city and the county, in the region. But we have to balance that against the very valid residential and public safety concerns that people have. That's our job. You know, a lot of what the 1.1 million that it takes to put this thing on is absorbed by putting things like porta potties and security and barricades and all the cleanup details and dumpsters and all the things that we have to put in place to make this thing safe, but also to minimize the inconvenience and the impact, I should say, on the residents as much as we can. We have an obligation to do that. It's something we take very, very seriously, yes.
We've got a couple 100,000 people who want to come here for Mardi Gras.
People want to come to Soulard. They want to come here. It's a destination spot, I think. People, it's a good day out for them. Now, do we put up with some of the side effects of it? Yeah, of course we do.
We have neighbors who live just down less than a block from here who moved out because of Mardi Gras. They bought a house in the
But you know,
Central
those
West End.
people, Mardi Gras was going on when they moved down here.
Right,
It's
but
like,
they were
you know,
younger
are
and they didn't
little-
have kids, and it was,
Oh,
you know, they
geez,
changed.
Come on.
I'm just saying.
It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Not for everybody.
Right.
I think some of us have come to expect it. I don't know. Certainly, no one should expect destruction or that's not something
They should.
But at the
it
same
still
time,
happens.
you kind of expect a little bit of behavior that you would not otherwise welcome any other Saturday afternoon of the year.
Any more brick painters? Linda?
My name's Linda Nickel, and I'm the president of the Grand Sultans of Excess. We're a Mardi Gras crew that has been participating in the Soulard Mardi Gras Parade since 1993. We've been working on our float since the first weekend of January. We enjoy this very much. We do bend the rules just a little bit, just enough to get away with it, but yet still not, break them. And I think every year the goal for our crew is to, make a good float,
You missed a spot.
have a good time, enjoy what we've done, and then look back and say, oh yeah, remember that year? It was a great time. We had a really good time that year. Even in the snow, even in the rain, even in the whatever. I mean, that's what it takes to be a crew.
I bartend, and it's a lot of fun. I work at Llewelyn's Pub down in Soulard. I've been here 3 years. Outdoor booths for Mardi Gras are the main thing of it. It's a bar's just a bar inside. Outside it's you're in it. It's the whole culture of it. It's New Orleans and St. Louis. It's we've been doing it 30 years in Soulard. It's the culture. You have to be outside. You got to be in it with the people. I will be at the corner of 9th and Soulard, serving drinks, having fun, acknowledging the people. I enjoy what I do.
One, two, three, and flip. One, flip, two.
The name of this crew is the Gateway Precision Lawn Chair Crew. It was established in 1993. Our motto is, if it's not fun, we don't do it. I try to say we're trying to keep it elegant. We keep it elegant. So if it gets too crazy, man, we just drop it. We used to do a small float, and it was too much work. It was a beautiful float, but it was too much work, so we dropped it. Okay, from the top. 1, 2, 3, and slap, open. All right, so what we got going on now is we got our first round of our basic moves down, and then we got a move that we haven't quite figured out yet, which is always fun. We try to come up with something for the judges, because most of them see us year after year. What we do is we turn to the out, right? 1, 2, 3, swing! I got to show you wipeout. Because we have this thing, we got a drummer, I play harmonica, so we got a drum harmonica thing, so we do wipeout, and then, so it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da, but then we act like we're surfing, so we go, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So that's wipeout.
This is, I think, the best neighborhood in the Midwest.
I work with a lot of people who have come here from Europe, either to work full-time or visiting. And when I bring them down here, it's almost always, I can't believe this is America. This is like European.
It's much more European.
Yeah, the only exception was a Russian who said, why do you have to live in the slums?
Soulard is St. Louis's French Quarter, and this event was born in Soulard. It's unique because of this neighborhood. You know, when I moved here in the early 90s, there was a tree growing out of the collapsed roof of the building next door.
Yeah, but Soulard's way more than Mardi Gras. I mean, you know.
But Mardi Gras puts the spotlight on the neighborhood.
Yes, it makes people
and
think
it
about
makes
it.
people think about it. It brings people here. They come here because of Mardi Gras.
First year you worked on Mardi Gras, how many people?
Oh, not very many, but it was a neighborhood thing. You know, it was neighborhood businesses. It was run by the neighborhood. It was all volunteer. Nobody got paid.
This event went from, I don't know, let's say 20,000 people to 500,000 people really quick.
I wasn't directly involved in Mardi Gras until '99, until the Troubles. There were some altercations with the police.
Somebody just made a really bad strategic move and used way too much force for what was needed to shut that down.
It was not a good scene. And, you know, I'd never seen anything like that. You know, like everybody else, or like a lot of people in the neighborhood, you know, I had some issues with Mardi Gras and how it was done. I felt like it needed to be more accountable to the neighborhood.
And it kind of got a little out of hand, I think, because there were no guidelines, there were no rules, and then, you know, more and more people came, and all of a sudden we had 500,000 people in the Soulard area tramping on people's lawns, and people were saying, we like it, but not like this. And so that's how Mardi Gras came to be.
All right, that's fine. Well, there are people who aren't so in love with it. Yeah, that would be accurate, and sometimes they just don't like it. And there isn't anything you can do that's going to make them like it, so we have to distill what they're saying down to, hey, this is a legitimate concern. This is something we actually can do something about, and it's reasonable.
Well, we separate the festival zone into red zone and yellow zone. In the red zone, we clear the streets and actually have to have any of the cars in the streets towed. The red zone also contains most of the bars and restaurants in the neighborhood and is the most compact area. We have officials out in the neighborhood all day long just making the area safe. That is our biggest concern on that day, is to make the area safe.
We look at things every year and try to critique it. We have meetings way before this ever starts, and we have meetings afterwards to make sure whatever went wrong this year we'll correct for next year.
Hi, how are you? Lindsay? This is Jerry Layshak. He's in the third.
Oh, I think I've met you before.
Good, and you, John?
This is Gwen Spicer. She's
Nice to meet you.
The safety meetings pretty much consist of the health department, the animal control, police department, fire department, operational planning, all the excise division, and state liquor control, ATC. It's all those people who come together, and we kind of just have all our issues. Metro is also involved, have all of our issues out in the open, so everyone's on the same page and knows what's going on.
License collector yesterday, and they are going to have their detail of license collector agents out checking for the rogue vendors.
You know, there's always one little thing that involves another department of another department, so if we can get them all together, the meeting of the minds is what we call it, and they can all work things out amongst themselves, and then everyone's up to date.
That will be enforced again. It's about 5 agents, just so you know, that they'll be roaming around as well.
Did you set those at 7th and Lafayette instead of 8th and Lafayette?
I'm Police Officer Brent Feig. I'm in our operational planning section, which writes all the security plans for the police department for Mardi Gras.
Okay.
We'll have a number of shifts. Our main 2 shifts would be from 9 to 5 and then from 4 to midnight. We'll have over 450 policemen. There'll be some undercover policemen, most of them will be uniformed policemen. And then we'll have also some policemen in the neighborhood surrounding Soulard.
Anything else? Any other questions? You know, we have an interesting relationship with the police. I've said this for years. You know, we'd love to have a festival that draws 1 million people and dumps tons of money into the St. Louis economy, and of course have it all go off safely. You know, they're in the risk management business, and while I'm somewhat risk averse, they're very risk averse, so they'd like to have a 2-block parade with one car and it's done in 2 minutes because that means there's less to worry about. I get that. That's valid. But somewhere what we have to do is meet in the middle, and we've always successfully done that. That doesn't mean that we don't have our disagreements about issues at times, but we, just like anything else, we got to work through that, and we do.
You know, we always remind people when they ask about the weather, Mardi Gras is, after all, a winter festival, and this is St. Louis, so you can expect it to be cold. Really ideal weather for us, I guess, would be in the 40s or 50s. Not too warm, you know, you don't want it to be too warm, but sunny and 40, 45 degrees would be perfect for us.
You know, snow creates problems with electricity, so you have to approach entirely differently the way that you'd lay out electricity for an outdoor event. Snow causes snow removal to make it safe and also passable for people, so that'll cause greater expense. Snow also affects things like tents and that, because of the weight of snow could potentially collapse a tent, so you got to then purchase heaters that you put inside the tents, and you got to spend the entire evening going up and knocking the snow off so that they don't collapse. So weather does have a great effect, other than the obvious things like attendance.
And it's supposed to be cold, and the last time it was this cold, I did not enjoy it. It was below freezing.
We're back behind the scenes, other than working at our booths. We're behind the scenes going to parties, walking down the alleys, and going in backyards to parties, and all these people are pouring through our neighborhood.
We have our safe, calm place to go to and place that we can access the bathroom within under 30 minutes. But then for everybody walking by, I mean, that's the show. That's what makes it fun.
When the crowd's expected, that's fine. When it's over expected, then people go all around the porta potties. Yeah. So if you've got them in front of your house, you got a mess.
It's one of the barometers of success. You know, we do look at the number of citations that the police hand out for public urination and those types of offenses. So each year we try to ramp it up. And also, it's not just having more porta potties, it's understanding where the crowd goes and putting them in a place where they will find them and use them.
It's always been an issue. You know, they'll find they have plenty of bushes and trees, and that people don't want to wait. They're impatient. That's the big problem with the Soulard residents. The standard portable toilets, there's a lot of difference between portable restrooms, and the toilet is actually designed for about 175 people for every 2 hours. The Mardi Gras is probably the largest single-day event where we put portable restrooms on. We put some 850 to 900 portable restrooms, several urinal stations, and several handicaps and sinks.
Jim and his guys do a great job. They're kind of the unsung heroes to this whole thing.
I mean, somebody has to do it, maybe, but it's not a prestigious job by any means. I mean, it is a lot of work, and it's scheduling. On the toilets. This week is really a very hectic week. Matt, have you been here at Mardi Gras? Good luck. And Tony, I know that this is your first Mardi Gras. It's going to be a fast track. Get that forklift as far out of your mind. You're not using it. You know, you guys, I guarantee you, we're going to be behind on something. So just don't plan on going home.
What you'll see happen with my guys, they'll work Saturday night, all night, and get out of there and then come back Sunday after daylight where we can see what's going on.
Charlie is he sets 3 different crews, and what they do is they pick up all the trash cans and all the trash out of the streets and the alleys.
Oh, I've been doing this for a long time. I did this, my father ran the cleanup for Mardi Gras in New Orleans, so that's been over 30 years, and so I moved here, and now I'm doing it here. Well, what we mainly try to do is get everything to the street, off the sidewalks, off the curb, and then the street sweeper runs both sides of the street, down the middle, and then we have various dumpsters. We have about 30 dumpsters throughout the whole area down here, And as he gets full with the sweeper, he just dumps in one of the dumpsters and keep going. And our job is to stay out in front of him. It's getting there. I mean, over the last 5 years, it's getting a lot bigger than what it used to be here. Obviously, it's not as big as New Orleans, but when the weather's good here, it's just as good as New Orleans when the weather's good here.
But hopefully we get no precipitation. We don't like precipitation. Precipitation beats down the crowd and actually costs us money. 65 degrees is awesome. They're inside, outside, and everywhere else. So we don't want any rain or snow.
Got this figured out. I enjoy all the people.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
I enjoy all the camaraderie that we have.
Whoa, Eureka! Go check the height requirement.
I enjoy the creation of the float every year.
Somebody have a ruler? Tape, whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
My finger's 3 inches, Llewelyn.
Tape measure.
I'm just one of those kind of people that likes to make sure everything's where it's supposed to be and everything's in place and everything's done. And then when we go down there on parade day, everything is ready to go.
No, do it from the inside.
Just keep smiling. Because it's a lot of organization, kind of in a small amount of time.
Where are we?
We are at 10 feet, 6 inches.
Oh, we're good.
And if the weather's good, 500,000 people will be down there. So we are very excited about it again this year, as always, and looking forward to having great weather and having a great time.
We'll check on our stage up here at the park, make sure the stage is where it's supposed to be. Swing back down, maybe use a little marking paint on the streets, mark off where one more bar is. We have a series of small bars around the festival where we stock the organizations with everything they need. The tents, the tables, the chairs. We pull all the liquor licenses, obviously the beer, the soda, the hurricanes, those cups. We put all the pieces they need in place, then they come out and man the booth as our staff that day. And then we, of course, have a profit sharing. So what that does for us, it gives us the opportunity to pay for dumpsters and checkpoints and porta potties and bike rack barricades. And what that does for those guys, it gives them the opportunity to raise money for their organizations. Hi guys, thank you for all of you for coming. My name is Mark Mendolia. The not-for-profit beer booth program is my sole responsibility. Happy to have all of your organizations being a part of this year. I wish everybody good luck. I know that we're going to have a great year. Coming up is Nancy McGee. Nancy is the state liquor, we'll call her the czar. Please give her your attention. Thank you guys very much.
And our goal this year, as in any year, is to ensure that we have a safe and responsible event. So I can stand here for the next 20 minutes and give you all kinds of tips on how to spot a fake ID, but it does absolutely no good if you don't take the initial step of actually asking for the identification. Make sure that the people on the front line, those who are actually serving directly across that table, are in fact strong-willed people, okay? This is not a wine tasting. Okay, let's keep that in mind. These kids are in fact going to try and berate you, yell at you, scream at you, and they figure the more that they yell at you, scream at you, the more you will back down and just say, okay, go away, here's your beer and leave me alone.
A lot of the groups that do this are return groups. They find it to be very successful. The new groups, and I had a lot of them this year because we increased the number of the beer booths that we had. The new groups are a little more difficult to manage. Let's just say he's buying a beer. So we're both here, and you'll be the cash person, and I'll be the ID person. He walks up, can I get 2 Bud Lights? So if they haven't done it before, especially at Mardi Gras, 'cause it's a whole different beast, the festival goer is much more creative, we'll say.
These kids are very adept at text messaging and using today's technology. they're going to know very quickly whether it's the woman at the right end of the booth who's wearing the blue shirt, she is just militant about carding, versus the guy at the other end of the booth in the orange shirt, he's not bothering to card anybody. They're going to tell that to each other.
So I'm checking his ID, I'm going through it, and I can take my time that way. You're just doing cash, hey, that's $12, I need 2 Bud Lights. And your support staff, which we're going to get to in just a second, your support staff will swing around, pop him on the counter, you've got his money, I've checked his ID, here you go. He takes his 2 beers
Okay,
and goes.
question. Can we get stamps and stamp our people so we don't have to check them again and again?
They know that they are going to be carded numerous times during that event. When we stop them, we tell them, have your ID out and have your ID ready, because you're going to get hit by a number of police officers during the course of the day. And if you look young, you're going to get carded a number of times. If you are selling to somebody who is obviously intoxicated, or B, if you are selling to somebody who is under the age of 21. Those are the 2 quickest ways to get yourself in trouble with us. And I hope I don't have to write anybody in here a summons. Please don't make me do that. Less paperwork I have, the better off I am.
Okay.
3 days out or 4 days out from the Grand Parade. I'm tired because we haven't slept much. You know, it's constant. The phone will continue to ring all day until maybe 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. Today I'm going to start doing some hurricane mixing. Today I need to paint the streets for my non-for-profit beer booths. Because then here is, I'm going to have all this fenced. Main stage is going to be back here. We'll just keep your head down, keep moving forward, and the festival will go off. So we're excited about it. It's the festival time, and we'll sleep in March. Go ahead. If you come to the office about 45 minutes, an hour or so, I mean, I'll be there until tonight, until probably midnight or 1 a.m. All right, see ya. It never ends. Well, right now we got to go walk across the footbridge where the Metrolink stop, where the Metro buses dump off. Rearrange the porta potties because I got a business owner up there who doesn't like them on their property, but they love the foot traffic. So we're going to rearrange the porta potties a little bit for the church. What's up, Charlie? Mark.
This is what I did.
I'm with you. You know, the cab company just wants to make sure that as these knuckleheads are getting off, that are coming off the bridge, to find, because
this is the best visibility right here.
Yeah,
I'll do whatever you want.
And his cabs will be lined up. Just take and swing the last 4 porta potties. Just swing them around. I got to make some concessions for county cab, and I got to make some concessions for the porta potty guys. I don't want to move every porta potty like county yellow cab wants. So I did half of them. You got to meet everybody in the middle. Leave that one out, and I can hook that one up.
I may have people down here at 4 in the morning.
At 4 a.m.?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be around here. Somebody will be here.
Well, I'm sure I'll see you guys shortly.
Okay.
All right, gang.
Undercover officers are going to focus mainly on underage drinking, fake IDs, things of that sort.
So what's the word you have for, what's the message you have for people who come down?
If you're under 21, please don't come down and drink.
It's February 20th. It's the day before the Grand Parade. We're ready to go. It's all rolling out.
just putting on the finishing touches. Everybody who has some infrastructure down here today is going to be loading in. So the neighborhood will be a complete buzz with trucks. Tents, trucks, Pepsi, beer from all the distributors here in town. And a whole gang of people just running around trying to get what they need done. So that's what's going on today.
This is when it happens. Everybody's all over the neighborhood. We're checking signs. Everything's pretty well under control, honestly.
Good morning. I got this.
It's actually not cold.
It's not. No, it's not.
You know, once it gets done snowing, we'll be in great shape.
The sun comes up.
Yeah.
Let's have 3 guys down there with small trailers. It's 6, and you know, and let's just get out of here by 7. We should be everything completely done, and we'll let the people party.
We stay out of the way. We do not come down here. We do not move into this area until about 10 o'clock Saturday night.
What do I worry about the most? My worry the day of is that my checkpoints are set up correctly, that we get the checkpoints set up correctly in time. We want to make sure that the red zone is a safe area, that people aren't bringing in things that they shouldn't be bringing in.
The checkpoints really proved to be beneficial, keeping out the cans, coolers, bottles, and backpacks. You know, we're always worried about any large-scale incident, but I think we've planned for them and have some contingency plans in place so we can address anything that would arise.
Where's Kenny Moran?
Those bags are on top right now.
Cold out, y'all.
And I'll pull the tables back in here.
Thank you.
Marco.
We have 30 checkpoints in total. We probably have about 15 to 20 of the red zone checkpoints. So we'll put all those up. Let's go. We ain't got a lot of time. Gotta get this done.
Coffee and Bailey's over here in the Blazer, and breakfast if you want some.
Breakfast? Did we ever get breakfast? Hey, get out of the way!
Hey, Charlie, hey, we never got our dumpster at Lafayette and Broadway.
Just on this one?
Put probably that one over there.
Oh, this.
Now I'll help here. People are coming through, and you're gonna put this sign right here. It's gonna say, something is no coolers, no bottles, no backpacks. Anything they have, they gotta throw in there. Get through. Nothing. Oh, you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much.
Anyone have any questions or anything? All right, let's have a good one. Claire, I got a feeling you're gonna be at DB's at 2 in the morning.
We'll saw a lot of hurricanes.
Grenadine, OJ, 2 Jameson for sure. Probably another Bailey's.
Yeah, just go with the flow, and you know, been doing it 4 years and kind of just get used to it. And it's the first year I was outside. The past 2 I've been inside, and I chose to be outside this year on this freezing cold day. I have a ton of layers. It took me about 15 minutes to put my clothes on this morning. I have 4 layers on my bottoms and 4 layers on tops, pair of gloves, hat. Well prepared. I've done it before, so I know.
And we come here knowing that it's going to be, we're going to be here for a long day.
We're ready.
So
I'm
you
excited.
just do it, you get it done. And
12 to 14 hours.
yeah, but it's fun. It's great.
They're supposed to have a big...
It's a little chilly. I think the high today is something around 30 degrees. We've had, so far this morning, we've had about a 20-mile-an-hour wind. It was snowing earlier. That's stopped. Looks like the clouds are breaking up a little bit. So if we get a little bit of sun peeking through by 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning, then we'll have a ton of people down here.
Well, we believe we are ready to go. We do have a bubble machine. We have 2 actually. They're going to be off the back of the float. So we're pretty excited about that. Hopefully it's not too cold for them to work. And actually this is not the worst weather we've ever had. 2 years ago we had snow going sideways. So this is really pretty good. We're happy. We love it. We don't mind. It's Mardi Gras. We don't care.
It's kind of situation normal, you know, this isn't too undifferent than most years, but this high wind is not helping a whole lot for our deal. But all in all, you know, it's Mardi Gras and it's happening, it looks like it's going to get warmer, it's clearing up, so it's, you know, it's another grand parade, what can I say?
It's a very challenging task, but our police officers do an excellent job on maintaining peace in the neighborhood. We'll have some peace disturbances. We'll have some, a few fist fights between people, but the majority are the urinating in public and the underage drinking.
Turnout might vary, but I've got a nice little strategy for that. One year, the Post-Dispatch reported that there were 500,000 people here for Parade Day. Now, we have no way of knowing how many people come down here on Parade Day. Now, the police do some kind of an estimate on their own. How exactly they do that, I don't know. So every year after that, I got to say, well, according to the press, we draw crowds of about 500,000 people.
Well, actually, we've just had our roll call detail and we've got our agents out on the street. Basically, we'll be having 2 different enforcement efforts going on today. We have a group that's just going to be walking around in an undercover capacity, checking individuals on the street who may appear to be intoxicated or under the age. And if we encounter a situation, we'll issue appropriate summonses to those individuals to appear in court at a later date. Our other group is going to be out doing compliance checks of the outside stands, and they'll actually be sending an undercover miner up to those stands to see whether or not they're checking that identification of that miner. It's not our favorite day of the year, but it is our job, and we'll be out here doing what we're required to do. Certainly, since we have to be here regardless, we always enjoy when it's a nicer day as opposed to a cold and miserable day, but we'll deal with it. IDs, ladies?
Please remember, keep your hands and feet inside the fence. Your hands and feet inside the fence.
Grand Sultans of Excess and actively participating crew in the St. Louis Mardi Gras Parade since '93, and they're bringing all sorts of treats, little champagne for the judges.
I used to be in the crowd before I was invited to join this crew. There is nothing like being on a float. The perspective is so much better. The people are anxious for you to be there. You get to throw the beads, you get to wave. It is so much more fun on a float. I'm not going to dismiss it. It's great. I love it.
It's just getting started. It's early in the day. We were out on the street probably less than 20 minutes when we had our first ticket. And as you saw, it was probably about 1 out of every 4 we stopped. There, we probably checked 4 groups before we had 1 ticket, and that's probably going to be the average that we'll see today. And then right after the parade, as they filter back into the neighborhood, it'll pick up even more, and we'll have more encounters with kids.
It's actually it's a national festival. I mean, we did market research for the first time this year to try to learn a little bit more about who our customers are, where they're coming from, why they come down, what kinds of things keep them from coming down here. And about 1/4 of the people who come for the Grand Parade will come from outside the St. Louis region. So, I guess that's another standard of success for us. We want to put heads on pillows in hotel rooms downtown.
Number 26 in the program, number 1 in your heart. The Gateway Precision Lawn Chair Crew.
Well, here's the thing, on the parade, it's kind of cool because you're doing the same thing, but you're in front of a new crowd. Every 30 seconds, you're in front of a fresh set of people. So if you screwed up 30 seconds ago, it doesn't matter. You get it right the next time around, and you're good to go.
best jambalaya this side of New Orleans.
It was wonderful. Weather kind of settled down. Sun came out, and the crowd was loud as ever. I mean, they were out.
They were
great
excellent
energy.
attitude.
So anyway, it was good. It was wonderful.
Things are going fabulous. All of our checkpoints are in order, and we closed Lafayette very successfully with a lot of help from the interns, the police, and our security. We're going to take some cups to the Bud Light party tent. Now we just pretty much help everybody out the rest of the day and make sure our checkpoints continue to be set up right until they need to be taken down. So everything's going really well.
We've really taken into account the city ordinance on lewd and indecent conduct. And it pretty much spells out that you have to have some kind of sexual gratification, or there has to be an alarm or affront by the crowd that somebody would be exposing their breasts to.
We know what to expect here. Our officers know to be a little more tolerant than they normally are on this day, and we haven't had any incidents. It's all about trying to be professional, and everybody's been behaved.
I think most people in St. Louis have always done a great job, and there's somebody that's ruining a good time for everybody else, and you show up on the scene. Instead of joining in, you just ask, all right, who's the guy causing the problem? There's 20 people that point right at him, or the two of them. And you go in and you get them, and most people are cheering because you got rid of them, because they don't want the good time to be ruined.
The crowd looks big to me. So far, at least, the crowd seems like everybody's in a pretty good mood and pretty well behaved.
When it gets dark, cold tends to dissipate the crowd, and it's right at the good moment when it happens, because usually, as Max said, they've had their fun and it's time to move on.
And when the sun goes down tonight, it's really going to be cold, and you got a little bit of a wind going. I think that's going to nudge a lot of people and make them say, yeah, well, we've had a good time.
Time to
I
get
think
to
it's
a
time
warmer
to go
place,
home, maybe.
yeah.
Right.
Someplace other than here.
At 5:30, 6 o'clock, the sun's going down, and without the sun shining on their backs, they're pretty much done.
So you guys, I'm so cold. My fingers are just now getting cold. They were not cold all day long until now. I guess, thank you. No problem. Yeah.
There you boys go. So I think usually we're still pretty busy, but it's slowed down, I think, just because people are cold.
It gets dark, the tenor of things changes a little bit, but then that's one of the reasons why we close the streets early at 8 o'clock. If you're walking around with an open container of beer, you're allowed to do that by law because this is a festival zone, okay? At 8 p.m., that privilege stops. So if you've got a beer in your hand, you need to get inside a bar. What that does is it generally has the effect of either sending people inside one of the bars or sending them home. That works very, very well. And then the corollary to that is the bars and restaurants themselves close early on that night.
I guess we got a couple more hours, right?
back into the microphone. Watch your step. Step up. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
You know, we've been selling all day. The booth sold a lot of beer, or hopefully. I'll go start picking these things up, doing all the inventories, breaking down the booths completely, packing them in these trucks, pull the trucks in here one by one, and palletize this stuff as best as possible. Shrink wrap gun right here.
There's pepperoni. Okay, and
Julie, I'm gonna go get 3 more boots.
I'm going to start some guys on 7th Street here in Liverpool. Yeah. Our main thing right now is just get stuff off the street and then wait for the crowd to get out. We don't like to work in a crowd. We can't work in a crowd.
So far today we've had 105 arrests. Most of those are minor in possession. We had a couple of arrests for providing alcohol to a minor. The crowd's been fairly calm. Of course they get rowdy and that, but they're all having a good time. No major incidents, a few minor fights, no large fights, no serious injuries at this point.
What's the trickiest time of night for you guys?
Probably now when everybody starts closing down, we're trying to get the crowd to go home.
Closing the streets at 8 o'clock and closing the bars and restaurants in the neighborhood early. Those two things, I think, have done more to address the immediate concerns of the neighborhood and the people who live in the neighborhood than anything else.
It's over. It's over. I'm excited for my next day off.
We have our own standards for how it should be and how it should be done. And part of that is that we feel like we have to clean up after ourselves. We can't come into this neighborhood and make a mess and not clean up after yourself. It's a Midwestern thing, probably. It's sort of the way people are raised.
We got approximately 50 people out here right now. We got 50 people. And they're spread out throughout Llewelyn. They all got rakes, brooms, floors. Doing pretty good tonight. We're having a good night except for the wind. Wind's a little high, but overall we're doing pretty good.
And then, when Mardi Gras is over, they don't want portable restrooms sitting around for a week or 2 weeks. The tall truck, pump truck started at 2:30, and then my pickup and delivery truck started at 5:30. And right now we got roughly 200 talls in, so we're 650 more to go. They're full to the brim. They had a pretty good crowd. These 4 trucks have 2,000 gallons, and then one has 2,200. And we will dump roughly 8 to 10 times each truck. So to put the math to it, that's all people. Sunday night, come Monday morning, after the grand parade, you'll never know we were here.
I think it went very well, you know, on basically all fronts. It was wildly successful. I really believe that. It was one of the best, if not the best, of the 6 years that I've done it. Cleanup was stellar. The neighborhood looked terrific.
When it's all said and done, I like to go on Sunday. Moving very slowly. But it's clean, and they're all gone. It's like, we've got our town back, you know.
That's right, yes. And all these people came here from someplace else?
Yeah.
So that we can enjoy this all year long.
Yeah, right.